binders. All right, so we're just going up and down. Now mine got a little straight there. I can round it off, but it's a Ghost, so it doesn't have to be perfect. That's what I love about Ghosts. They're all kind of creepy and move around and kind of soft, fuzzy looking, so we can change them a little bit and we're still fine. Okay, now I'm going to bring this out just a little bit. I'm just going to curve it out a little bit like that and curve this one out just a little bit like that on either end, see? Now these are light lines. I'm not going to go very dark. I'm going to follow this line down just like this and curve it. Then I'm going to come down this side and I'm going to curve my line over, and I'm just going to bring it over kind of like this. Just bring it to a point. That's the body. Kind of looks like a bird a little bit right now, and it'll look a lot like a bird as we're drawing on it, but it won't finish like one. Now here's the most technical part of the whole thing. We're going to put hands on it. These hands are just long, skinny fingers. They're pointed shapes. So I'm going to bring it down close right here. Does anybody need a second before I do this? All right, I'll give you just a second. Okay, the important thing when we do these hands is we're not doing rounded off fingers. They're going to be pointy fingers. So when I do a hand on this, I'm going to start with my little finger first. I'm following this line down, and I'm just going to hook it like that. Just a little hook on the end. So it makes the letter J. I mean, if I turn it that way, obviously, okay, it's like a little fish hook. And then I'm going to put a point on it and bring it right back in this way. So I'm just doing kind of a parallel line on it, right there. The important thing is it hooks. It's like Captain Hook there. He's got a little hook. Then I'm going to draw another little hook. I'm going to come right off this thing again. I'm going to put another little hook on there, just like that. So now I got two hooks. These are skinny. I'm going to put another one on here. It's not going to hook as much. This one's just going to come down here like that. Same width, same kind of skinny, but it doesn't hook as hard. Okay? Hopefully I'm not going too fast for you on this. Now I'm going to bring one from the other way. We're going to come from up here where I started with that last one, and I'm going to hook it around this way, just like that. So it's like a letter C, except backwards. Backwards letter C. But they're all about the same width. That's the important thing, is you don't get one twice as wide as another. As long as they're skinny looking, you're all right. And we're going to put one more little hook right here, just a little short one that kind of comes up like that, a little taller than the other ones. But it's short. Don't make that one long. Okay, now that we got all those little hooks on there, we're going to come over here and we're going to do the same thing on the other side, but we'll make it just a little different. We don't want everything to look exactly the same. I'm going to come on here, and I'm going to put my first hook, comes out here, and I'm not going to hook it very hard. I'm just going to come out here like that. Just a little skinny one. Same size as the ones over here. Don't get them like different sizes. I'm going to put one above it that's just slightly shorter. See, this is longer, a little bit shorter. Now that you kind of have the idea how they look. Now this one's going to be weird, and hopefully we don't lose anybody. I'm going to draw like a letter C right here. I'm going to come right here and draw, well, it's like a J, I guess. See how that's not touching yet? And then I'm going to bring it back up here and let it connect with the rest of this. All I'm doing is making it connect. So when I turn it this way, right side up, it looks a little bit like a hand. We still need one more finger though. We have this one over here, and now we're doing this one over here. It looks like that. And that last little finger, I'm just going to bring it up just like I hooked on the other side. Okay. So they're similar, but not quite the same. Then we're going to go and take this, and I'm just going to color these in black. And that way it's going to look more like a hand when I get it all colored in black. But it's a creepy, long, skinny, pointy fingered kind of hand. So I got that one all colored in black. Then I'll come over here and do the other one. And after I got it all colored black, there's going to be one more little adjustment we're going to make to it, but I'll wait till you guys get these colored in. I will say the hand is probably the hardest thing you're going to do on it, so if you had no problem with the hand, the rest is going to be easy. Because it doesn't need to be perfect. I mean, it's not like I'm measuring out knuckles and fingernails and all that kind of stuff. So the last thing I want to do is give the hand a little volume. So I'm going to just come along here, make that a little bit bigger, this a little bit bigger. So I'm putting kind of a little triangle right in here that the fingers all stick out from. I'll put a little triangle right here. When I say triangle, I'm just coming across like that and giving it more of a hand shape instead of just fingers. Just giving it a little bit of volume. Right now, it doesn't look very scary. It just looks like two little bugs on the end of a string. But we'll get going with it. Does anybody need more time to finish that? Okay, didn't see any hands. So, mine is a little higher on this side than it is on this side, so I'm going to have mine looking to the left. It doesn't matter whether you put it right in the middle or if you have one side. If one side's higher, make it look in that direction. I'm just going to come in here, and I'm going to make a big teardrop shape. Now I'm going to color that whole thing in, not black, but a fairly dark gray. Now up there, hopefully it doesn't translate as black. I don't think it will. I'm going to try to make it even and smooth as I can. I want it to be a dark gray, not a black. Hold it up a little closer so you can see that that's not like cold jet black, not like the hands. It's just a dark gray. Everybody with me so far? Okay, now here's where it gets a little weird. I'm always telling you, keep your lines close together, don't scribble. Well, now we're going to scribble. So I'm going just like this. I'm scribbling. I want it to be uneven, kind of. Just like that, I scribble right to the body. I'm going to come over here and do the same thing. Scribble, 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 and I'm just kind of following along that line up there. Just doing some scribble. Okay, now I'm going to fill this in a little bit more. Now I'm coming in here and I'm filling it in so it's not got space, and I'm going down some of these points that I made. I want some to be longer and some to be shorter. Now instead of having space between my lines, I'm just coming in and filling it in is all I'm doing. And if I don't see it long enough, I might make one a little bit longer, curving out. I might make this one curve in. It doesn't really matter as long as it's not even across there. I don't want it looking like I took a pair of scissors right here and cut that all even across the bottom. I want it uneven. So if I do that on one side, I'm going to do the same thing on the other side. Fill it in, make some longer, leave some shorter. You don't need to make the exact same ones longer as I did, just vary it a little bit. It's just the whole idea is to be uneven. I'm just coloring it in at this point. I love making these because at first you're looking at them going, this is kind of ugly. It doesn't look that good, but it will. As long as your scribble is going in the directions that I'm showing you and you don't come in here and scribble this way on it, that will be a problem. But if you're scribbling up and down and kind of out and around, you're fine. We got a big white area right here, so I'm going to make this smaller on mine. I'm going to take it really close to that line that I have on top. And I can make this line a little darker if it makes it easier for you to see. It's okay if this is a little dark. Let me just do that. Now I'm scribbling up close to that line. And I'm staying pretty dark, but I'm leaving just a little tiny space at the top. I'll come over here and make this one just as tiny a space. I ain't got time for that nonsense. Who's calling me? Hello, it's Mr. Grams. I'm feeling a lot better, and thank you very much. I went down there a couple times to thank you, but you have not been in the office. So. Yep. Okay, sounds good. All right, yep, thanks, Mike. Bristol, your mom's here to pick you up. So this is all being recorded, so you can just see what we did when you get home, okay? This is all being recorded, so you can just take your stuff home and catch up, okay? I'll post it after school. All right, now we got it looks like wings, but they're actually arms. Now we're going to come along and do the body here. This is the same thing. Scribble, 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 scribble. And I'm going to make some of this uneven. Just make sure it flows around. This flows this way, okay? And then I'm going to come over here and I'm going to scribble some more. And I'm going to bring some out. Now it looks like a really hairy ghost. Sometimes it's just fun to be able to scribble and not have to be too precise. So much of what we do in here, we have to be really careful. These we don't have to be as careful on. All right, so now what we're going to do is we're going to fill it in, just like we did on the wing looking things. They're actually arms. Fill it in a little bit. And then I want you to take just a medium gray. And this part, we are going to try to keep it a little more even. I don't want this part to look so much like scribble. We're just trying to color it in now, this light to medium gray. So don't press as hard when we're doing this. And this will be up around the head and also on the top part of our little arms. We'll do a little bit of this. Coming in here, and all I'm doing right now is just coloring is all I'm doing. The magic hasn't happened yet, but it will in a second. I'm going to take some of this darker down towards the bottom. I'm going to fill this in just a little bit darker down here. keeping it a little bit rough on purpose. And then underneath this little V, underneath this part where it V's right here, come in a little bit right here and then come off the back of the head and bring it down here a little bit. Okay, see what I've done there? Come just this way and this way. This is all pretty loose looking. And right now it looks kind of ratty, but we're going to fix that in just a couple of seconds. All right, now for the fun part. We'll do the fun part I've been waiting for. Does anybody need another second to finish that before we do the fun part? Okay, take your paper towel. So you'll take your paper towel and you want to fold it over a couple of times. What we're trying to do is get a corner like that. If I fold it several times, then I got a nice little corner. And I'm actually going to even make it a little bit more narrow like this, so I have kind of a point that I have in my hand. And that way I can get into little places, because we're going to smooth some of this stuff out. So if you have this ready, I'm going to go around the head first. I'm just going to smooth this out around the head, and you just press a little bit, smooth it out. If you go outside the line this time, guess what? It's okay. It's a ghost. It should be fuzzy looking. And we're going to come right down the body, because this is the two lightest parts on this ghost. That head part, the body, and then right along the top of the arm. I'm just going to come along right here on the top where it was kind of light. I want to go along that. I'm going to do the same thing over here. I'm intentionally trying to go outside my lines a little bit so I get a little bit of fuzzy outside of it. The fuzzy's okay. All right, so that's the top part. It's getting kind of fuzzy. And you can press pretty hard. We want that line to kind of go away around it, so it's okay to press hard. All right, is everybody that far? Do you need a second? All right, I'll wait. I'll wait. You got to press hard and rub with it. All right, now we're going to go all crazy like. Pay attention, we're going crazy like. Now when we get to the wings, I want you to press down hard and then lift up. Press down hard, lift up, lift up, lift up. And that makes that cool streak look. So you press down, you lift up. I don't want you going like this now. I want you to press down and just lift up. Then we do it around the body too. Press down, lift up. That's just the first round. We're going to come back over and press a little harder in a second. All right, once you have that done, then come in here and press really hard and go back and forth. We're trying to get rid of most of our lines that we had. And you do this by pressing hard and softening it up. You don't want to necessarily do this over your hands where your fingers are, here and here, because you'll just have to redraw them if you do. So if you press hard enough, the whole thing's going to look like a funny, smeary mess. And that's what you want. And now, in just a second, we're going to draw with our eraser and make it look cool again. Let me see it, Aiden. Aiden, let me see. Yep, you did just right. I'm just waiting for a second for you guys to get it all smeared down really good. It's about 3/4 done. We got the last quarter to do, and the last quarter is where we kind of do some details. Does anybody need another second, or are we good? All right, I'm going to zoom in on this head. Now we're going to turn our pencil over and we're going to use our eraser. I'm going to just lightly go right around the edge here of that side. See how I made that lighter? And then I'm going to come right below it and do another one just like that. And that's like a wrinkle in the cloth, okay? And then I'm going to bring one from over here and do the same thing, kind of coming from the back of the head, making just a little wrinkle. And I don't like the way the front of that looks, so I'm going to actually make this part smaller. Okay, because I just want a little wrinkle here. And it's okay if this goes a little darker right here too. This is the back of the head, so now I'll just soften it. Right here, I'm going to go just a little bit darker on top of the shoulder. I'm just using the side of my pencil to go a little bit darker, then I'll just rub it. Okay, inside the hole where the face goes, the top part, I want you to color in black right here. Just make this black on the top. And I'm only coming halfway down. Just make that black on top. You see how that looks different than the rest? And then you take your Kleenex and just rub that a little bit to blend it. And now the top's dark and the bottom's lighter, and it looks like a hole going back in there. Don't over rub that. You're just trying to make sure you get rid of that line that was going through, that edge that was going through. That's a really cool effect. It takes 2 seconds to do, and it really makes it look like it's a hole instead of just a black patch. Now the fun part. Here's where we make it look. Make sure you're paying attention. This is the last part. I'm going to use both, like the side of my eraser and the tip of my eraser, okay? I want to use a little bit on the tip and a little bit on the side because I want different size lines. So if I use the tip, watch this. It's a little skinny line. See how skinny that is? If I use the side, it's a wider line. And I pick it up when I do that. Okay? We're competing with the rain. But look at that. As I do that, William, settle down. We've talked about that. Act like you're in 7th grade, not in 6th grade or 5th grade. All right, over here. So we go out like that because that wing goes that way. We do the same thing over here. Some thin, some thick. Use the side of your eraser to get them thicker. Bring it all the way out to the edge of where you smeared stuff. And wipe it off. William, you need to settle down or you're going to be out of here. No more of that. I haven't got patience for you to act like that today. All right, down here on the body. Curve it, curve it, curve it a little bit. Don't go straight lines. Curve with the way your scribble went. It's just a few. Vary the width. Okay, then I'm going to wipe that all off. Now look at that one. Pretty cool, huh? Now some of this is too bright for me down here, so I'm just going to take my Kleenex. I'm going to get you out of here. All right, William, come here. Grab your stuff. Come here. We're going. All right. I'm going to walk around real quick and look at your pictures because I want to see how you're doing. Oh, I need to grab my pencil so I can help you. All right. Draw a little. That's the All right, now we're going to do another go. All right, ghost number 2. Everybody look up there. And this will be the same way as we did the other one. We start with one line to figure out where it's going to go. So here's how this one's going to go. This will be a little different. We're going to make an S shape. So make sure you're paying attention. We start with an S. I'm curving around, bringing it up, and curving back that way. So it's a big S shape. Okay? Just put an S on there. It's a little smaller down here, curves around up here. Actually, I curved that too far up. I'm going to stop it right there. I'll bring that down a little bit so you can see it a little better. It's just an S. I've stretched it out a little bit. It's not a little short, fat S. Now I'm going to turn my paper sideways because I need to come around this way. It's easier if I go this way. So careful. Actually, I'm going to turn it this way. So lightly come around. It's a point down at the bottom. See that? We're going to come around, come around, come around. It's going to get a little bit wider, not much. A little wider. Then we're going to come up, and instead of making a point on the top, we're just going to round it off. Like that. So has everybody got like a banana with a pointed tail? Good. Keep that fairly light because it doesn't need to be very dark. So right up here, do the teardrop thing again, right up here. Okay, guys, too much talking on the video, okay? All right, get your teardrop. What do you do with that teardrop? Color it in, kind of dark. Not black, but pretty dark. So once that's done, it looks like that. Okay? It's not black, it's just a dark gray. Trying not to get too far ahead, but we got to try to finish this one. So we got about 10 minutes to do it. So I'm going to come down here, and I'm going to bring this up just like I did on the other side and bring it out. And so let's just go ahead and put some fingers on the end. Just hook it. Bring another hook out here. So we're doing just like we did before, a couple little hooks. Another hook right here. And then I'm going to put the thumb hooking the other way. And I think I might just put one more finger in between right there. That way he has 5 fingers. And I'll put that little triangle there to give it a hand. We got a hand drawn. So I'll hold that up closer so you can kind of see easier. Okay, the other hand's going to go different. It's going to come up, the other arm, it's going to go way up here like this. I want it kind of coming up over the top of this other one. And then I'm going to come up here and hook these up like that. So instead of going down like the other ones, this is going to hook up. So I'll hold that up close so you can see it. He's stretching way out. I'm going to put a thumb right here that just goes down. I'm going to hook another one right off the end of that. And that's all I'm going to put on that one. I'm only going to put that on there. I'm going to just say that the other fingers in the hand are kind of covering where the other fingers are. Maybe I'll put one more little finger right there. There we go. Oh, I lied. I want one more finger coming out. Now he's got all kind of fingers. Don't be too careful with the fingers. They just kind of need to hook is all they need to do. Be skinny and hook. All right, now the fun part where we just go out from the line, scribble, 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 and just kind of follow it around. Follow this shape up here. And then when it gets down to the body, you connect it. Over here, we do the same thing. Scribble, scribble, scribble. But now it's going to change direction, so I scribble this way. Okay, so kind of pay attention to where you're scribbling a little bit. And I got it all kind of even across here, so what do I got to do? Now I need to break it up a little bit. Some longer, some shorter. Love hearing that rain. We need it. Okay, I'm going to come over here and make some stuff uneven. I love scribbling when I can. Okay, do you remember what we did last time after we scribbled? We had to come color it in, kind of fill it in. So now we make it look a little less scribbly because we're coloring it in even. Colored that one in, we'll color this one in. We leave it just a little bit lighter on top. Now you can probably figure out what we're going to do on the body. We're going to come this way and follow the curve around. Follow it around, follow it around, scribble around, follow, 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 follow. We're just following it till we get to the end, just scribbling. Don't scribble against the grain like this. Follow it around, okay? Make some longer, some shorter. So make sure it has kind of a nice flow following all the way around. Then on this side, make it look like a hairy ghost. Once you got that scribbled, same thing we did before, we want to kind of fill it in around the edge. And I know I'm going kind of fast, but it's something we've done before. I'm not showing you anything new right now. It's just a different shape is all. Then I'm going to come up the left side of that head and go a little bit darker right there, and then kind of bring it underneath it. Leaving just a little white right here. Just a little bit of white. Then I'll go a little bit darker over here too, right there. Now is when we do the lighter gray. We just color the whole thing in now. It's easy to do around here because you don't have to be that careful, because when you're coloring where the face goes or the hole is, it doesn't matter if you go inside of it because it's going to be really dark when we're finished. So color, 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 color. I'm going hyper fast coloring right now, hyperdrive. Okay, now he's all colored up. Got one big furry looking ghost. Now the fun part, just like from before, we're just going to pull it out from it. Smear out, smear out, smear out, smear out, smear out. It can go right into your other ghost, doesn't matter. Pull up, pull up, pull up, pull up. Just go in the direction that you did with your scribble, that's all. And then we're going to come across the top, make it all fuzzy. Press really hard. Press hard on the head. Press really hard right here, getting rid of the scribbles. Okay, Aiden, I need you a little quieter, because it's on. Yep, I know. I need everyone quieter, but I can. Okay, guys, shh. We're trying to get to the end here. We Come around where the face opening goes with a little bit of an eraser just to show where it is, show a couple wrinkles. And now you take your eraser and you start to draw into it. Now remember, vary with your eraser. Don't make them all skinny. And follow the shape of your scribble. Don't go against it. So when I'm putting those on there, I'm going the same direction I scribbled it on there. Same thing coming this way. I'm paying really close attention to which way I scribbled so I can change direction with it. And after I've done that, I'm just going to soften it a little bit by just barely going over it very lightly, just so those eraser marks aren't quite so bright. Get all the eraser shavings off. And then right here at the top of our head, inside that hole, we want to make that dark half, upper half dark. And then we take our Kleenex and just soften it into the bottom half. So it looks like a hole. I got to put my little light spot back on there. It got kind of erased. And that's a pretty cool looking ghost with the other ghost. And hopefully yours guys' looks a little bit cool. Sadly, and I'm kind of bummed because I like doing these, sadly, it's time to clean up. So I need you to write your first and last name on the back, put them on the back table, and let's get all the chairs up. Aiden, can you help put William's chairs up for him today, please?